So I will tell the agenda of today's thing. So from 10:30 or from 10:25 to around 11:45, I will discuss few concepts which are needed for you to build the Paytm webpage. And then we'll take some 5 or 10 minutes of break. And then when we come back, we will look at the V session. So you'll basically building a web page known as a Paytm. So I'll show you that. So you're going to build this not entire Paytm page, but we will try to cover most of the things depending upon our time. So basically it consists of some Navbar kind of things where we can go to various places like company, Paytm for business. And then we have some logo here and some text and some image here. Okay. And then we have two sections here, one for recharging something and other is for booking or buying something. So we'll be trying to build all these things. So to build all these things, we will need to have some theoretical concepts to be covered. So for the first 1 hour, we'll try to cover those concepts. And for the next 2 hours, we'll try to build this entire web page. Clear, everyone? So let's start. So I request everyone to turn off camera because it will be disturbing for others to view the screen. So first we need to open our VS Code. So if everyone has installed VS Code, so you need to go to your VS Code. So it will be somewhere here, right? I'm using a Mac, so it will be different for you. So click on VS Code. Okay. So it will open something like this. So I will open a new file now. Let's close this. I'll open a new window. So just click on your VS Code and then it will open something like this. So I will open a new window because it's opening the previous thing. Okay, cool. So it will open in this fashion. So after opening, Amandeep, can you switch off your camera? So it will show the different options like new file, open a folder and all those things. So what I'll do is I'll create a folder called Paytm. So in desktop, I'll create a folder, new folder called as Paytm Bootcamp. Okay. And I will try to code everything in this folder. So first I need to open this folder in VS Code. So go to VS Code and click on open. So there is something called open here, right? It is nothing but opening a folder. Okay. So click on open and then it will show the path of your windows. So I'll go to desktop and then Paytm Bootcamp and then press enter, open. So now you are in Paytm Bootcamp. So you can type in S here. So you're in Paytm Bootcamp. So here I need to fill in a few files which are needed for Bootcamp. Okay. So do you guys know what is the extension? Because if you use a notepad, you will use .txt, right? If you use notepad, you will use .txt extension. If you use PowerPoint, it is .ppt extension. So similarly for HTML, what is the extension? What is the file extension you will use? File name. .html, right? So intro.html. So whenever you type in HTML, so VS Code will automatically know that you are using HTML file. So whatever you code inside this will be completely of HTML type. Okay. So in this fashion, you can open a new file. So you can create a new file here. Click on this new file and you can create a file name with intro.html or something. Okay. So now how to open this in our browser? So to open this, you need to right click on this, click on copy path. Okay. Click on copy path and go to your browser, Chrome or something, and then paste the path here. I'll keep it side by side so that we can look into it. Okay, so now I'm opening my HTML page also in my browser. Can you see this? At the end, it is intro.html. Okay, so now let's try to code something. So I will type welcome to bootcamp. So to see the changes in the browser, we need to refresh the browser every time. Okay, so I will refresh the browser once. So can you see the text? Welcome to bootcamp. Guys, I suggest you to be active on chat box so that it will be interactive session and you won't get bored if you give some response in the chat box. So be active in the chat box so that you will, if you have some doubts, okay. So this is a simple HTML file. So whatever you type here, welcome to bootcamp. We are building Paytm page. Again, I need to refresh the page. So I'm getting Paytm page here. Don't do this now. So I will tell when to do it. So for the next 1 hour, don't code anything. Just look into use this. Look into my screen. So don't code anything for the next 1 hour. So we are getting a simple text here. Welcome to bootcamp and Paytm page. Okay. So coding in this fashion will not make any sense, right? Means we are not taking anything here. We are just typing in some random text. So this is simply right, like typing in a txt file or notepad file, right? So what we can do now? So in HTML, HTML provides some tags for you. Okay, HTML will provide some tags for you. So if you see any website, okay, so what are the various things you see in website, in any website? What are the various things you see? Whenever you open any websites, what are the various things you see in any website? You see some paragraph, yes, and then you see some logo. Logo means images, right? Some images, and you see some colors, and you see some background colors also, right? And you see some fonts in the sense font size and font family and so many things. Yes, you'll see some buttons, moving image, animations, all those things, right? So you must have seen all these things whenever you use some website, right? So for each and everything, there is one particular tag in HTML. Okay. For each and everything, for paragraph, logo, images, color, background color, fonts, button. For each and everything, we have some tags, properties, and corresponding to it some values. So now if you want paragraph, can you tell me the tag name? I want a paragraph. So in HTML, they will provide some tag name for this. So can you tell me the tag name for paragraph? It is simply a P. So in HTML, the tag name will look something like this, the tag syntax. So this is the opening tag and this is the closing tag. It is basically something like this, tag name. Tag name can be anything. Okay, this can be P anything, and this is the opening tag and this is the closing tag. So next we have something called button. So we can also type in button like this. So this is the opening tag and this is the closing tag. And again, we will also have some headings. So for adding, there is so many headings from H1 to H6. Okay, suppose if I type H1, so there will be H1 from H1 to H6. So in between there will be H2, H3, so on, H5. So I will show you how this will look in the browser. For now, understand what is the opening tag and what is a closing tag. So now writing in this fashion will not give you any sense, right? Means we are not coding anything. Means we are just writing the tag names. We are not giving any basic structure to the HTML. Right. First, we need to give the basic structure. Suppose whenever, so think of an example, there is a car company. Okay. So whenever someone is building a car, what is the first thing they will build? Whenever someone is trying to build a car, what is the first thing they will try to build? They will try to build a structure, right? Structure of the car, how the car will look and all those things. And after structure, what they will build? Entire structure is over. So they will build some design or some styling, right? They will style it with colors and all. And after that, what they will do? So they need to build the functionality also, the gear part, brakes, all those things will come under functionality, right? I'll show you example for that. Give me 1 second. So if you see this, so this is the basic structure of the car. So what is basic structure of anything? The basic structure is nothing but HTML. And okay. And then whenever you give some styles, whenever you give some coloring to it, it is known as CSS. And whenever you apply brakes and gates, all those things functionality come under JavaScript. Means cascading style sheet. It's nothing but styling your page. Understood? What is the difference between these three things? HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. By using these three things, you can build whatever website you want, functional website. So now first we'll try to build the structure of HTML. Okay. So how the structure will look like is, so I will tell you one structure. So first we should open with HTML tag. Okay. So the parent is HTML. Inside the HTML, you need to write all the structure. Okay. This is like telling you are doing in HTML file. You're using HTML tags. You're using HTML syntax. This is the opening tag for HTML, and this is the closing tag for HTML. And inside this, so HTML is basically like a human structure. So what human will have a head and a body, right? So basically you will have a head, HTML will have a head, and HTML will also have a body. So everything is wrapped inside this HTML. Okay. So entire head and body, can you see it is wrapped? It is inside our HTML tags only. Clear this structure, basic structure of HTML. It consists of a head, body, and HTML file. So now we will see what will be inside of my head and what will be inside my body. Okay. So if I take it head, so inside head, you'll have something known as title. So tell me where it is visible. So if I type Paytm Bootcamp and if I refresh my page, tell me where my title is visible in the browser. Can you see somewhere Paytm Bootcamp in my Chrome browser? Yeah, we can see it here, right? At the top, at the tab bar, at the place of these tabs, right? Suppose if I change Paytm Bootcamp 19th March. So when I refresh it, it will change automatically. Can you see this? Paytm Bootcamp 19th March. So whenever you want to do something like this, so you need to keep this title, and this title should be inside your body. Sorry, inside your head, not body, inside your head. Now I will try to type something in my body. I am typing inside body. So now where it is coming, whatever typing inside my body, it is coming in my browser, right? In my browser space, white space. Whatever I type here, I am going to build ATM page. So now if I refresh, so I am getting everything in my browser. So now tell me, if I go to Paytm page, so what is, so to get all these things, to get entire body of this, so where I need to type my code? So all this header, images, and all this no valid KYC, where I need to code all these things to build this? I need to code inside the body, right? If I want to get this Paytm secure and fast UPI payment, where I need to code this? inside the title, which is inside the head. Understood? So now let's see what are the various tags we discussed previously. Suppose if I write a paragraph tag, so I will write paragraph. So what is the paragraph tag I told for you initially? So type in the entire syntax, not only P, type in the entire syntax with opening and closing tags. So it has one opening tag P and then one closing tag P. Okay. And then I will type I am paragraph. So now if I refresh it, I will get I am paragraph. And next I will type H1. I have heading 1. So now tell me the difference between this paragraph and heading 1. Tell me the difference between this paragraph and heading 1. So heading 1 has very large text, right? Compared to paragraph. If I write heading 2, H2, I have heading 2. So now what is the difference between heading 1 and heading 2? Heading 2 is less in size when compared to heading 1, right? Yeah, font size. If I type H3, I have heading 3. If I type in H4, heading 4. If I type in H5, I have heading 5. So I told how many headings are there in Java in HTML? How many headings? 6, right? So H6, I have heading 6. So now tell me which has highest font size and which has lowest font size in these headings. Which heading has highest font size and which heading has lowest font size? H1 is highest and H6 is lowest, right? So now see this Paytm page. So what did they use here? Is this paragraph or heading? It's a heading, right? It's not a paragraph. What is this here? This is a paragraph, right? What is this recharge and pay bills on Paytm? What is this? Heading or paragraph? Heading. What is this recharge prepaid mobile? Heading or paragraph? Did you get the difference now between heading and paragraphs? Okay, cool. So what is this, heading or paragraph? Okay, yeah. So again, this is a paragraph, this is a heading. So we will see what kind of heading it is, H1, H2, or H6. We will see whenever we code. So I'm going to tell the difference between these two things, what are heading and what are paragraphs and where we use this. Okay. So next we'll see something known as, so if you see this, what is this? Suppose if I open, so what is the entire thing? This one is image, right? Can you see this is image? If I right click on this, so you can see open image in new tab, save images, copy image, all those things. So basically the entire thing is an image, right? If I open image in new tab, can you see the image? Entire image. So how did they keep images in this browser, means in this web page? So we know how to keep HTML headings, we know how to keep HTML paragraphs, but we didn't see something known as images, right? So now we'll see how to keep images also in websites, in our web page. So for images, there is one tag known as image tag. That is known as IMG. And this IMG tag won't have any closing tag. It is self-closing tag. Self-closing tag in the sense it will close automatically. Okay, so it is self-closing tag. It doesn't have any closing tag. It only has self-closing tag. So now we need to, if I open the web page, my Paytm Bootcamp web page, so I'm not able to see anything, right? Why I'm not able to see anything? I typed in image, but I'm not able to see anything. Why? Because I didn't give any image source or image link, right? We didn't give any source of the image. We didn't tell HTML that I need to show only this image address or anything. So for keeping in image address, there is something known as src in image tag. What is src? src is short form for source. Short form for source. What is the source here for us? Source is the image link or image path, right? So if I go to this image, if I right click on it, so I can get this image address, right? Can you see this? Copy image address. So I can copy this image address and paste it inside my src. Now if I open my bootcamp page, if I refresh it, can you see the image here? It is very large, but can you see it, right? So what are the things you need to give for image? You need to provide and source for the image, src. Suppose you are having one more image here. Okay. So img tag, and you need to give src, and I will use some source again from Paytm page. So I will go to this Paytm page. This is also image, right? This card. So I'll copy this image address and I will paste it here. Okay. So now if I see, if I refresh, I'm getting both the images. Clear? How to use image tags? You can use any images. So if I use Google images, okay. So I can use any image from Google. So I will copy this Google image here. Okay. So what I need to do, right click on it, copy image address and open an image tag, self close it, and src equal to paste that image link. So now if I refresh my page, I'll get Google image also. Can you see this? You can also import local images, but for this session, so please, that things are not needed. So I will provide all the image links. So copying from local is not needed for this bootcamp itself. Okay. You can also do that, but not needed for this bootcamp. Okay, cool. So now suppose if you see this website, so what is the color of this heading? What is the color of this heading? So I will write heading H1 and I'll copy this entire recharge and pay bills on Paytm. Okay. So I will type recharge and pay bills on Paytm. Okay. What is the default color in website for this? This is white, right? But if we see our website, okay, so I am refreshing it. What is the color we are seeing here? Black, right? What is the default color? So whenever you're coding in HTML, what is the default color you will get? Default color is black. But if you want to change the colors, there is one way to do that. That is known as styling, CSS. So for styling also, we need to give one tag for that. That is known as style tag. For styling is CSS HTML, for styling HTML basically, we need to give one tag for that. That is known as style tag. So we need to give style tag inside head or body. Can you tell me where we need to give inside head or body? If we give inside body, it is not feasible, right? Because we want inside body, we are filling in everything data in the web page. So we will give inside the head tag itself. So I'll give some style. Okay. So I'm giving some style like this. But I need to tell my HTML file that I want to style only this H1 tag. I don't want to style this image and all, but I want to style only this H1 tag. Okay. So for that, we will use something known as classes. That is giving some class name to it. And then based on the class name, we can style it. So how to do that? So just give class is equal to, this class name can be anything. So this can be heading, or this can be your name, my name, or anything. Okay. So this can be my name or Faizan, any name. You can give any name you want, but don't give any numbers for this. 1, 2, 3. Don't give numbers. You should be like a name. Okay. So for now, I'll give some heading or Paytm heading. Okay. So now based on this class name, you'll give the styles to it. So here I will write Paytm heading. And before this, I'll keep some dot. So dot indicates that we are using a class here. Okay. So now I will write color. Shall I write white? If I write white, will be visible on my browser. If I write white, will this be visible on the browser? Because my browser color is white, right? So I'll give some blue now. So now let's see whether we're getting blue or not. Can you see? You're getting a blue color. Suppose I have another tag known as h2 tag. Okay. I'm adding 2. And I will use some class name to it now. Class is equal to adding 2. So how to catch this class name now? Go into style, write dot adding 2 and give color as red. So can you see you're getting a red color now? Similarly, if you have a paragraph tag, p tag, Masai. Okay. And then I will write some class name to this. Class is equal to Masai. And I will type dot Masai color as green. So now I will get a P tag with green color. But so based on these colors, so how many colors we will know? So you will know some around 10 colors, right? Some blue, red, green, black, orange, yellow. But to want more colors, we will use some syntax known as hexacode. So no need to by heart these things, which I'm telling now. So you will get this from the documentation itself. So for each and every color, there will be some hexacode. So if you refer to documentation once, so colors, HTML, MDN. MDN is basically documentation, or else I will show it in this slides itself, so that will be very useful. I think it's already open. Yeah. So if you see there is some colors here. So can you see for every color, there is some hexacode here. Without writing directly this color, you can also write this hexacode. For red, what is the hexacode? FF0000, right? So now if I write for red, if I write ash FF0000, will I get the same output now for adding to? Can you see that? So for each and every code, each and every color, there will be some hexacode. So don't worry about the hexacodes. I will give the hexacodes for each and every colors we use in Paytm webpage now. But you need to know that each and every color has some kind of hexacode like this. Clear? Why they put code? Because they want some. So based on this, how many combinations you can build? So the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if you know combinations, how many combinations you can build based on this. So it will be from 0 to f. So it will be 0, 0 is the minimum and f is the maximum. So how many combinations you can give? There are so many combinations, right? Yeah, so that's why they build this hexa code. So based on the hexa code, you can have so many colors in this universe. So whatever colors you have, you can have all those colors. Now I want to give some background color to this recharge and pay bills. So how can I give background color for this? So if you see this, so what is the background color of this recharge and pay bills? What is the background color? It's some blue, right? Light blue kind of thing. So now for this heading, I want to give background color also. So can I give directly here background color after the color? So for the same heading, I want color and also background color. Okay. Now I will write background color light blue, something light blue. Now I will see the output. If I refresh it, can you see the background color of it? For heading 2, if I keep some background color black, and if I refresh it, I will get background. Understood? So now I want to increase the font size of this heading. I want to increase the font size. I want to make it larger than this default size. So for that, we have something known as font size property. Font size. So if I give font size 10 pixel, okay, see what is happening now. What is happening here? It is becoming small or large? Small, right? If I give 40 pixel, now it's becoming large, right? So font size will vary from 0 pixel to whatever pixel you want. If I write 80 pixel, it will be a bit larger. Can you see this? So based upon your application, so you should change your font size. So for this, I want some smaller size. So I'll give around 30 pixel or something like that. So for paragraph, so if you see it is very small, right? So I will make it large now. So font size, I will give 40 pixel now. Can you see my font size for paragraph has increased now. So did you see all these things in a Word document? Did you ever use the this MS Word document in your life, in your childhood or in your schooling days? So you use this Word document, right? MS Word. So now it is around Google Sheets. Now the present trend is around Google Docs. So I'll open one of the Google Docs now. Okay. And I will show all these properties in Google Docs also. If I write some Masai school, how can I increase the font size of it? I can type in this number, right? So if I increase the number, it's increasing. If I want to change the background color, there is something called as highlight color here. If you give red, it will get red. Right? And if you want to change the color, so I can change the color of this font. So I can change it to white. If you want to make it italic, so you're getting some italic like this. Can you see this? Italic. How to make italic in HTML web page? How to make your text italic in your HTML web page? So there are two ways to do that. One is by using styling. Okay. There is something known as font style. So what is my font style I want? I want italic, right? So I will write italic now. So now go to this web page and refresh it. Can you see italic text here? And other way is there is one tag known as I tag. I means italic. So I am italic text. So if I refresh, so I will get italic text here. Can you see this at the end? So there are two ways to make the italic text. One is writing an I tag, and the other method is by using font style italic. And in Word document, you can also see something known as bold, right? What does bold do? What does bold do here? Is making your text bolder, right? So how to make this, how to do this in HTML now? So for bold also there are two ways, by using style and by using some tags. By using style, there is something known as font weight. And the weight I want is bold. Okay. So now if I refresh, I will get some bolder text. You can't see it for H1, so I will make it for P now. So font weight bolder. So I'm writing for P from Masai school. Can you see bolder text? I can also make it from HTML. So I will write something like B. I am bolder text. If I refresh, so I will get I am bolder text. Can you see this? And if you see this Word document again, there are few more things. I will reduce the font size a bit now. So if I select it, and can you see this something called as align here? Can you see this alignment? Center align, left, right, and justify. If I keep left, what will happen? Is there any change in this if I keep left? No, right? So default is left. If I keep center, what will happen if I keep center? Center align. If I keep center, what will happen? We come to center, right? If I keep right, what will happen? It will go to right. So we'll see how to make this property in HTML page also. Okay. So here in HTML page, I want to move this Masai school to center and right. So what is the default center text align here? What is the default alignment in HTML page? HTML also left, right? It is left, not center. This left to the page, right? Almost left. So now I will go to Masai. The syntax for that is text align. So how many values will it will have? It will have three values: center, left, and right. If I keep center and if I refresh, can you see it is coming to the center? If I keep right, what will happen? It will move to the right. So now we have seen all so many tags in HTML. But when you see this Paytm web page, so did they combine all these tags or they're using separately? Means, so from now on, whenever you see any web page, your visualization should be different from others. Okay. Whenever you see any website, I will show this website. Whenever you see not only Paytm, any website, so you should have different visualization from others. Okay, I'll tell you what should be, what should it look like. So everything in a web page is a kind of a box. Okay, so I will tell you, I will draw a few things now. So if you see, this is entire one box, right? Can think of like a box here. It is entirely one box. Do you agree with me? So inside this box, what all we have? Can you tell me? Inside this box, what all we have? What is this here? This is an image. And what all these things? This is one H1 or H4 tags or P tags with some font size, right? So this box includes images. What is this? This is again one kind of box which has two more things again. Okay. Or you can also build it like a button. So we can build it two ways. So now if you see this box, this is one kind of box, right? Again, I'll change the color. This again one kind of box, right? What all is there inside this box? We have a text and some smiley symbol. And what is the position of this text? How to get this position? Center, right? Text align center, we saw. And again, if you see the lower layout, this is also one kind of box, right? Entire is one big box. Inside this big box, how many boxes you have again? This is one box again. And this is one more box again. Two boxes. Inside the first box, what all you have? You have an image, some H1 tag, and one paragraph, and one button again here. And in the right box, this is one entire image, right? One image. Suppose let's open Masai school website. There you can see more boxes than this Paytm web page. So let's see this. Yeah. So if you see these instructors or curriculum team, so how many, this is one box, one row box. So how many boxes are there inside this box? How many boxes are there? 4, right? This is one box, second box, third box, and fourth box, right? Inside each box, what all we have? We have an image and one H4 or H3 tag and one P tag, again an image. Similarly, right? You have an image, some H1 to H4 tag or and P tag and one image again. If you see this, if you see this thing, this testimonials things. So how many boxes it have? One parent box, right? So you have one parent box here. This is the parent box. Inside this, how many child boxes we have? 4 child boxes. One box, two box, 3, and 4. Inside each box, what all we have? We have an image. And then this is one paragraph. Again, some heading tag, and again one image. Understood how to visualize by using boxes. I will tell how to build these boxes, but for now you need to visualize how to build these layouts by using boxes, small boxes. So now for building any box, what are the things you need? For building any box, what are the things you need? Not about tag. So initially when I'm drawing, what did I do? So what are the things I need here? I need some height of the box and some width of the box, right? This has some particular height and particular width. What is height? This is the height and this is the width, right? This is the height. This is the width. So I need some particular height and some particular width for a box, right? That is the basic thing I want. And also I want some border color like this. So here I'm drawing some with green color, right? I'm using some green color. So I want some border color also. So I want height, width, and border color. Agree, everyone? So now let's try to build one box, okay, by using HTML. So I'll open a new file. So I have an HTML tag. Inside this HTML, I have an head and then I have a body. I'll copy this path and paste it. Okay. So for building a box, we need some tag, right? Without having a tag, we can't build a box. Like for a paragraph, we have a p tag, and for heading, we have h1 or h6, so on. Similarly, for building a box, we need a tag for that. So we can't write directly the box tag. So there is one more tag known as div tag in HTML. Okay. This div is nothing like but a box tag. Div is short form of division. So we are dividing into various boxes, right? So the name div has came up. This is a div. And inside head, I will keep some title, box model, and also I'll keep some style. So for this div, I'll give some class. Class is equal to box. Okay. Now for box, what should I give? What are the things I told you need whenever you need to build a box? What are the things we need for building a box? We need a height. So I'll give some height of around 100 pixel. And what all you want? You want a width. Width also I'll give around 100 pixel. And what other thing you want? Border color, right? So there is some syntax called border. The syntax is something like you need to first specify the pixel. So I want only one pixel, solid, red. Okay, so if I refresh my page, can you see the box here? So for border, this is the syntax, 1 pixel. So if I write 5 pixel, my thickness will increase, my box thickness will increase. Okay, so I want only 1 pixel. So you can keep solid. Solid means you'll get solid lines. There is also dashed here. So if you keep dash, you'll get some dashed lines. Can you see this? Dashed lines. So I can either use solid or dashed. So solid and whatever color you want. So I gave it red. You can give whatever you want, green or pink or anything. If you give 0 pixel, then you can't see the box lines. It should be at least 1 pixel. So now I know how to build a box. So inside this box, what all things you can keep? You can keep whatever things you learned now, right? Inside this box, you can keep whatever things you learned. So I can keep a paragraph. I am para. And you can also keep one heading, head. If I refresh, so everything will be inside that box. You will see how to make it more responsive. But for now, you can keep whatever things you want inside this box. You can also keep 0.5 pixel, it will work. Okay, the width will be decreased, thickness will be decreased. So suppose I want 2 boxes like this. I want 2 boxes like this side by side. Okay, I want 2 boxes like this side by side. So what can I do? I will write another div. Can I write the same class name for this? If I write class box, will the same properties applied for this div also? If I write class is equal to box, so all these properties which I wrote will be applied to this div, right? So now I will refresh it. Can you see? I want it side by side, but I'm getting it top and bottom. Why is this happening? I want it side by side, but it is coming top and bottom. Why is this happening? Top to bottom code. Suppose if I keep the code side by side, now it will come side by side. Someone is telling because I kept top and bottom. If I refresh, same output, right? It is not changing at all. So I will tell why this is happening. Okay. Suppose I have a div tag. I am div. For this div tag, I will give some class is equal to some bg. Okay. For this bg, I will give some background color. Background color as teal. So now tell me the output. So can you see the output here for this div? So did you notice anything extra here? Did you notice anything wrong here? Means what is happening here? Even if you give background color, it is applying background for the entire row, right? Not only for this div. It's applying for the entire row. It is taking complete screen. Can you see this? It is not only giving to the text, but also giving to the entire row. Can you see that? This background color is applying this background color for the entire div, not only the text inside that. So can you tell that this div is occupying your entire space, entire row space? This div is occupying entire row space. It is very jealous that it is not giving any space to the others. It is occupying the entire space. Now if I write another div here, I am div 2. Does this div 2 has space beside this div? Does this div 2 has space beside this div to occupy? No, right? That's why it is coming to the bottom, right? If I refresh, it is coming to the bottom because it doesn't have any space to occupy here. So this div is also known as block level element. What do you mean by block level? This div is also known as block level element. So block level in the sense, it is blocking the entire row, right? We have also learned some more tags, right? H1 tag. I am adding one. Suppose if I give some class bg to it. Okay, same class name. Now tell me whether H1 is block level or not. Is H1 a block level or not? If I give P paragraph tag, I am P tag. And I'm also giving the same class name for this. Class is equal to BG. So tell me whether this P tag is block level or not. T is also blocking, right? So we learned one more thing, right? Bold, B. We learned one more thing, one more tag as bold tag. I am bold text. I will write the same class name for this. Class is equal to BG. Now tell me whether this B is block or not. Is it block? It is not a block, right? So now if I give a div, will it come side by side or by bottom? Will it come to the side or bottom? So one more thing you need to notice is block level elements will always start in a new line. If it always start in a new line. Even if it has place, it will not take other space. Okay, it will take a new line only. It is very confused. Okay, it won't take the same space, it will take a new line every time. Suppose, let's see if I take another bold tag. I am bold new. Now tell me whether this bold tag will come side by side or to the new line. What I told, this B is bold tag or not? This is not a bold tag, right? B is not a block element. So that's why it's coming side by side. It is not like div. It will take this extra space it has. Now I will take all of this again. So now we have two boxes now. So now I want to make these two boxes. I'll remove this. I want to make these two boxes side by side. Okay. So to make these two boxes side by side, there is something called as display flex. Okay. There is some property known as display flex. To make these two boxes side by side, first we need to wrap it around the parent box. Okay. This is a parent box and we need to wrap it around the parent box. So I'm cutting it and I'm pasting it inside this parent box. So now what we are doing? We are taking a parent box and wrapping it around a parent box, these two boxes. Now for this parent box, I'll give some class. Class is equal to class is equal to container or something. So for this container, I will write display flex. Now see the output carefully. Can you see the output? What is happening here? Now both the boxes are coming side by side. So what is this flex doing? This display flex is nullifying the block. It is making block level. It is removing the block level. It is removing the blocks. Suppose you have another div here, another div with class is equal to box again. Will this box come side by side or to the bottom? Side by side, right? So whenever you want to build any box side by side, what you need to do? You need to build a parent box first and then give display flex to that. Flex is nothing but flexible container. So you will learn more about flex when you come to Masai course. But for now, we are using only for making the boxes side by side, and some properties also will use. I'll tell the properties. So next I want some space between these boxes, right? There is no space between these two boxes. It is overlapping a bit. It is overlapping, right? So now I'll show you some diagram now. Suppose you have some house like this. Okay. This is your house. And around your house, you're having some border or some fencing kind of things. Okay. This is some fencing for your house. What is fencing here? Fencing is nothing but a border, right? If you think it as a box, what is fencing here? Think it like a box. So what is fencing here? Fencing is border with around 10 pixel solid red or solid orange. Right? Here fencing or border is nothing but it is a border and whatever lies outside that. Okay. Whatever lies outside that, it is known as margin. Outside to the fencing is known as margin. This margin will have 4 values. What are the 4 values? What are the 4 values here? Margin, what are the 4 values? Top, left, bottom, right. So we'll have margin top, margin left, margin bottom, and margin right. And whatever is there between your house and your fencing, what is that? It is known as padding. Now we'll try to build something like this. So I will give only one box inside this. Okay. So this is my container. So for container also, I'll give some border, 10 pixel solid orange. Okay, I'll refresh it. So this is my border and this green wala thing is my house. Okay. I'll give some extra with around 400 pixels. Understood? So this orange color is my fencing, and this green color box is my house. Now I want to increase the space between this orange box and this outer space. What should I use here? Margin or padding? Margin to which box I should apply? The margin to this div or this div? This container div, right? Suppose if I write margin 20 pixel. Okay. Or else I'll write margin top 20 pixel. So what I'm applying? I'm applying margin top of 20 pixel. Can you see that? You can't see that. I will keep 100 pixel. Can you see that it's moving from the top, right? If you want to apply margin left of 100 pixel, now what it will do? It will move from the left, right? From the left, it will move to 100 pixel. Can you see that? Okay. And now if I apply padding to it. So if I apply padding of 100 pixel, now tell me what will happen. Or if I give some 20 pixel, tell me what will happen. Padding is the space between my fencing and the box, right? So will this increase now? Initially, there is no space. Now will it increase some padding? Can you see this? I'm increasing my garden space now. If I keep it 40 pixel, can you see that? My garden space is increasing. I'm increasing my garden space now. Understood the difference between padding and margin? So now if I'm giving only padding, it's applying for all the sides equally, right? If I give 40 pixel, it's applying for top 40, left 40, bottom 40, and right 40, right? For all the sides, it's applying 40, 40, 40, 40. If I want different values, so I want for padding top, I want 40, and for padding right, I want some 10 pixel. Okay. And for padding bottom, I want around 20 pixel. And for padding right or padding left, sorry, padding left, I want 30 pixel. So now it will be vary according to my padding size. Can you see that? Padding top is 40, padding right is 10, padding bottom is 20, and padding left is 30. Now, if I want to keep it inside only one padding, so writing in 4 lines is very difficult, right? Writing in 4 lines is very difficult task. So there is one shortcut for this. So I can write only padding. And you need to go in clockwise direction, starting from the top. So starting from the top, what is the clockwise direction for you? First top will come, then starting from clockwise direction, what will the clock will look like? Top, right, bottom, left, right? So starting from the top, it is clockwise. So it is 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock. Agree? 12, 6, 12, 3, 6, 9. So for top, what is the value I want? For top, what is the value I want? So for top, I want 40 pixel. And for right, I want 10 pixel. For bottom, 20 pixel. And for left, 30 pixel. So I'll get the same things now. This is the shorthand notation of writing padding. Same for margin also. For margin also, there is 4 values. So first is, what is the first value? Top, left, bottom, right. So both for padding and margin, you can use this shorthand notation. Now we will look at one more property for centering any element. Okay. So don't worry about this code. So this is some additional code. So I will keep a div inside. Inside this div, I'll keep ID equal to container. Inside this container, I'll keep another div. Okay. And I'll apply some style to it. For container, I will apply some height and width. So height is around 400 pixel. Okay. And width is around 600 pixel. And inside this div, I'll keep I am div. I'll also apply some border to it so that we can look into it. So border 1 pixel. Solid. So I'll open this layout now. So can you see the layout? So this is the container, main container. I've given some height of 400 pixel and width of 600 pixel and some border to it. And inside this, I'm keeping some div, I am div. Okay. And all those things. So now what I want is I want to move this text. I want to move this text to the center of the box, both vertically and horizontally. I want to move this text both vertically and horizontally. So there are a few methods for padding and margin, but by using padding and margin, it will be difficult for you to write it, right? Means you need to keep some values and check it whether you're getting it or not. Right. So if I give some padding of 100 pixel, so you need to check each and every time whether it was getting to center or not. So can you see? So for this, you have one method. Okay. The method is write display flex. Okay, write display flex, and there are two properties for this flex. One is justify content center, and then other thing is align items center. So I will tell these few properties one by one. So if I write justify content center, see what is happening now. What is happening now? If I write justify content center, it is coming to the center horizontally, right? In the horizontal fashion. Can you see this? It's like texture and center. And if I write align item center, and I'll remove this justify content now. So now tell me how it is aligning. It is coming to center vertically now, right now. If I use both the properties at once, what will happen? If I use both the properties at once, what will happen? It will come to the center, right? Both horizontal and vertically. Did you get it, everyone? It will come to the center, both horizontally and vertically. Now, if you see this Paytm webpage, okay, so you see this Paytm webpage. So this is a box, right? This is entirely a box. How my text is inside that has means what is the text align for this? It is centered both vertically and horizontally, right? This text inside this Paytm, this entire things is centered vertically and horizontally. Can we use the properties here? Justify content and align items. If you see this one also, this box. So for this box also, do you agree that this entire text is centered and horizontal aligned? Vertically and horizontal aligned. So can you use this property here, display flex and justify content center, align item center. Can you use this property here also? So what do you understand from this? So justify content is use it for what? Justify content is use it for what? Horizontal alignment, right? Horizontal alignment. Justify content is use it for horizontal alignment. Do you agree with that? So now I will tell you some more properties for that. I will take ID equal to container. Okay. And then inside this, I will take 4 divs, div into 4. And for each and every div, or each and not each and every, for this container, I'll use some style slash container. So I will give, so for each and every div, I'll give some class. Class is equal to child. Okay, for each and every div, I'll give some class, this same class. Now for this child dot child, not ID, this class, sorry. So for this child, so I will use some height of 100 pixel and width of 100 pixel. And for each and everything, I will give some background color teal. And for this container, I will give some border, 1 pixel solid red. Clear what I did here? So I gave a container. So basically I'm building something like this. I'm drawing it. So I'm building a parent container with some background red. And inside this, I'm trying to fill in 4 boxes. 1, 2 with 100 pixel of height, 100 pixel of width. Agree? So now if I see the output, so what is happening here? I will give some margin also for all the child so that I can see the images. Margin 10 pixel. So now my boxes are coming down by down, right? How to make it side by side? I told you a method for that. How to make these boxes side by side? Display flex to which div I should give? Which class I should give display flex? Display flex to container, right? To the parent. So if I write display flex. So can you see these boxes are coming side by side now? So now what I will do is, so what I told justify content is for which alignment? Justify content is for which alignment? Horizontal alignment, right? Horizontal alignment. So justify content as 4 values. First one is if I write center. What will happen if I write center? Will come to center, right? There is few more values here. If I write space between. So what space between will do is it will distribute the space equally between all the boxes. So if I see this, can you see this? The space is distributed evenly between all the boxes. This is space between. If I use space evenly. So in space between, what is happening? For the first box, there is no space, right? Can you see this? For the first box, there is no space on the left side. For the first and last box. To make it distribute evenly, we need to write space evenly. So now if I refresh, I get equal space between the first box also. Understood? So now tell me for Paytm page. For Paytm page, this is one box I told you, right? Inside this, I have 3 more boxes. This is one box. This is one box. And this is one box. So which property can we use here for justify content? For justify content, which property can we use? Space between or space evenly? Space evenly, right? Space evenly because there is even space. For this image, which properties we should use for this image? So we are getting image to the center of the box. Can you see this? This is the box and we are getting the center of the box. So what we should use here? Both justify content and align content, right? Align items, both the properties. Similarly for this also, justify content and align items center. Understood? Okay. So we'll take some 10 minutes of break. And when we come back, we will code this entire web page. So I will use whatever properties I explained now. I will use all the properties now on building this web page. Okay. So first we will try to build the basic, means the basic structure, means building the boxes and all. and then we will go into filling the boxes. Okay, first we'll build the boxes. First we will try to build this Navbar box. So tell me for Navbar, what is the parent box? This is the parent box, right? Entire Navbar. Agree? So inside this parent box, how many child boxes you have? You have 3 child box, right? So this is the first child box, second child box, and third child box. So first we will try to build this structure with 1 parent box and 3 child boxes. Okay. So I'll code it. So I will open a file initially, like paytm.html. Some file name you can use it. So, and I will copy the basic structure. So this is the basic structure, which consists of a head, body, and title, and so on. So I will write. So can I copy the title here? Okay, so if I go to this title for the original Paytm web page, so Paytm secure and fast UPI payment. So I will write the same thing. Paytm secure and fast payments. So I'll copy this path and open it. This is the first step. Okay, copying the title and all. So I can make it more. We can also use and as capital and UPI. So we can keep it real. Everyone done with the basic structure? Yeah, do along with me. This is V session, right? So I'm copying this basic structure and pasting it in Discord. This basic structure. This is the basic structure. You can copy it and paste it. I copied in Discord. So next we will try to build the boxes. So first I will try to build the navbar. So I will build a div. I'll keep a class for this. Class is equal to navbar. Inside this navbar, how many childs I want? Inside this navbar, how many childs I want? 3 childs, right? So 1, 2, 3. For each and every child, I will keep some class. Class is equal to left because it is left one, and middle and right. Class is equal to middle and class is equal to right. So I made a navbar container, means the parent container inside this 3 child containers with class left, middle, and right. Now I'll open the style sheet. Okay, so for navbar, what is the height and width I want? So for building any box, I need some height and width, right? For building any box. So navbar is basically a box. So I need some height and width. So I'll keep some height as 90 pixel and width. Do I need entire width of the screen? Do I need entire width of the screen? Please reply. So can I take 100% here with 100% because I did entire with, right? Can I take 100%? And I will write some border also. So border 1 pixel solid red. So now let's see the output, whether we are getting this navbar height, width, and border. I'll refresh. So are you getting that? Navbar height, width, and border. So this is the first step. So we want to do another step, giving navbar and height, width, and building 3 boxes. I'm giving you 2 minutes, so please complete that. Don't make any spelling mistakes. So HTML doesn't throw any errors, so you should not make any spelling mistakes while coding. So make sure you're not making any spelling mistakes. If you're not getting the output, somewhere you're writing some spelling mistakes. So please type carefully whenever typing. Whoever has done, type 1 in chat. So you need to do copy path and paste in your browser. Make sure you are using .html extension. 1 minute more. Please complete this. Okay, cool. So now inside this boxes, how many boxes you need? 3 boxes, right? So something in this fashion, 1 box, second box, and third box, right? So you need something in this fashion. So for the first box, so can you divide this 100% within to 3 boxes like this? So entire box is 100%, right? Entire box 100%. We need to build this into 3 boxes. So can we give percentages for this? So can I give 20% for this and 60% for this? And again 20% for this. Can I use that? So I'm dividing entire 100 into 3 parts, 20, 60, and 20. This is width, right? This is width, 20% of width. What is my height then? What is my height? I'm taking entire height, right? Entire height. Can I take height 100% now? Because I want entire height. Yeah. So we'll try to make this now. So for left box, what is the width I want? For left box, what is the width? 20%, right? And what is the height? What is the height? 100%. Yes. And I'll keep some background color to look at it. So I'll keep some teal. Okay. So now look at our left box, whether we're getting it or not. So we're getting it, right? So the left box is done. Now we will try to build the middle box. For middle box, what is the height? What is the width? It is 60%. What is the height? 100%. And I will give some background color, pink. And for right box, what is the height? Height is 100%. Width is again 20% for the right. And again, give some background color, teal. Okay. So now if I look at the output, if I refresh, what is happening here? I want boxes side by side, but I'm getting top and bottom. So what should I do here? Display flex to which one? To which box? Display flex to which class? Tell me the class name. Navbar, right? So I will write display flex. Okay. So now I will look at the output. So we're getting something like this. Cool. So try to build until this part. I'm giving you 3 minutes. Try to build this layout. Don't make any spelling mistakes. I'm giving you 3 minutes. Whoever has done, type 1 in the chat. Okay, cool. So in first box, so in the left box, what do we need? In the first box, what do we need? In the first box, what do we need? What do we need to keep in the first box? We want an image, right? Logo is an image. Okay. So we want image somewhere at this point, right? We want image somewhere at this point. So can we use display flex, justify content center and align item center for this? Because we wanted a center, right? Both vertically and horizontally. So can we use that, the property which we have learned? So first what we need to do? So first get the image, put the image. So I'll copy the image address from here. So right click on this image, copy image address, keep an image tag inside this left box. img, this is self-closing tag, and src is equal to image link. So let's see what is the thing we are getting in the output. So we're getting some image here. Can you see the image? So I need to get this image to the center, both vertically and horizontally. So tell me in which class name I should write it. I want this image to be centered vertically and horizontally. In which class name I need to write it? These properties, justify content and align items. To the left class name, right? So will this justify content work without using flex? So first we should write display flex, right? And then justify content center, align item center. I'm sharing image link in Discord. So now see the output, what are you getting? If I refresh, can you see you're getting at the center, right? Entire image, Paytm image. So now I will remove this background color teal for the left box. So now it will look something like this, Paytm. Because if you don't give display flex, then these properties won't work. That's why you should give display flex, even if it is one item. If you don't give the display flex, these properties won't work for normally. So it is flex properties, so it will work only with flex. So now let's go to this is the entire code. So if you think the left one is coming more, so you can give it as 15%. And for middle, you can keep it as 65%. So anything is fine. It depends upon your screen size and all. So now come to the center box. So in center box, so we have how many tags inside this? How many tags inside this? How many boxes in this P tags, right? 1, 2, 4, 5 P tags. So what I will do is I'll go to the middle box and I will write 5 P tags. Okay. So go into middle and P, I'll copy this 5 times. So we need to write all these P tags now. So Paytm for consumer, Paytm for business, company, investor relations and career. So I will code it down. I'll write it down everything. So Paytm for consumers, and then Paytm for business. Okay. And then company. What's the other thing? Investor relations. Investor relations. Then career. So if I see my output, I'll get something like this. So I need all these things side by side, right? But it is coming bottom and top. So what I should do here? What I should do? Display flex for which class? Display flex for middle, right? So I'll write display flex. And what is justify content here? I told you 4 properties. Justify content. What is the property we need to use? Justify content. Space evenly or space between? Space evenly or space between? I showed you, right? So I can write space evenly for this. So now if I look at it, so can you see this? You're getting something Paytm for consumers, Paytm for business, company, investor relations. And now you want this to the center vertically. So to make it center vertically, what is the property we need to use? Only vertical. Only vertical alignment I need to center this. So what is the property I need to use? For vertical alignment, I told you one property. Align items, right? So align items center. Okay. So now if I see the output, I will get it centered vertically also. And also my text is a bit bolder here, and my color is also a bit bolder, right? So I will increase my font size and font weight for this. So for that, what I will do is I will write some class names. Class is equal to sublinks. Okay. And class is equal to sublinks. Class is equal to sublinks. Copy the same class names for each and every key. So for sublinks now, I will write some font size of 19 or 20 pixel, and then font weight I will take it as bold. Okay. So now you'll get something like this. So I'll remove the background color also so that it will look better. So it is something like this. Okay. So I'm giving 5 minutes. So please complete until this part, keeping it side by side. This is CSS and this is HTML. Right one is HTML, left one is CSS. So I'm giving you 5 minutes. So please try to complete this, everyone. And I'm not working, you might have doing something wrong. So please check it once again, Aniket. This one style is CSS. Entire style is CSS. Left one is CSS. Those who have done, type 1 in the chat. Type 1. No need of separate CSS. So you can use same HTML file, not to use separate CSS file. You can also change your font family if you want. I'm not worrying about the font family. So for now, you can also change font family if you want, because they might be using some libraries for that. So I'm not worrying about that. Doubt regarding only to this coding, not admissions or all. Text is not bold. For text bold, you need to write font weight bold. So make sure the spelling is not wrong and syntax is not wrong. So you write font dash weight bold. Everything is kind of bold. So we can ignore some minor things here because we don't have the design initially. So we can ignore some minor things. Bold, weight, and all you can ignore. You can keep some close values. You will not be able to clone the exact website because they will use some colors and which are limited only to their company. So we can't use all those things. Image link I have provided in Slack, sorry, Discord. So you can check the Discord ones. Okay. So now we will try to move to the next part, right part. So in right part, so what are there? So there is one box like this. It is a box, right? So we'll take it as a box, not as a button. Okay. Inside this box, what all we have? We have some text and then one image here. This is an image again. So this is one account image. So you can get the image link also. So what all we have? So inside this, we have one more box, one more div. Inside this div, we have some text and one image. Okay. So first we'll try to build that box and make it centrally aligned. So we will try to build something. So first we will try to build some box like this at the center. Okay. And after building the box, we will keep sign in and some uh, account icon here. Okay. So first we'll try to build that box. So go into the right box again. So div class is equal to right. So inside this right, I told you we want one div. So div I'll do class is equal to account. Okay. So inside this account, what all we have? We have some text called sign in, right? And then we have an image also. So I will keep image tag again here. And to get the SRC, I'll copy the image address. So right click on it. So copy image address and paste it. SRC is equal to paste. Okay. So now let's see whether you're getting this or not. So you're getting something like this, sign in and some account icon here. So let's make this account some border color so that we can look into it. So account border 1 pixel solid red. Okay. So I'm making some border color as red. So it is something like this. So you need to get it centered vertically and horizontally centered, right? So what we can do for that? So you need to display flex, right? Display flex and then justify content center and align item center. Agree? So I will go to account. I'll write display flex, justify content center, align item center. So now let's see whether you're getting center or not. So you're getting something here. To make this a red box to the center, what should you do? To make this entire red box to the center, Now we made this sign in and this avatar to the center, but we also want to make this entire red box to the center, right? So how can we make that? Align items to which class? To right class, right? So go into right and write display flex and align item center. So now let's see whether you're getting it or not. And also you need but horizontally centered. So write justify content center. So you're getting something like this. So I'll remove this border color, teal, background color, not border color. And also remove this border here so that it will look very nice. Yeah. So now for this sign in, we have some background color as some blue color or something. So I already know this color. I inspected it. So I'll tell you the color code for this. So for this account, the background color is something 00BAF2. So you can know background color by inspecting it. So you can click on inspect. Okay. And then you can click on this arrow here. And if you over on this, so can you see the background color here? 00BAF2 somewhere. Background and padding both are mentioned there, right? Can you see this background and padding? So I will use those values. So background I already used. So padding is 2 pixel, 2 pixel, 2 pixel, and 20 pixel. So the values which they are using the same values. And if I look at this, so it will be something like this. Why this avatar is coming in this fashion? Tab. So I will copy this image. Yeah. So now if you see this, can you see the border is curved like this? Can you see this? There is some curve like this at that borders. It is not like a square box which we got here. It has some curves inside that. Right. So for that, we have one property known as border radius. So for that, we have something known as border radius. So for account, I will write border radius. I'll keep around 20 pixels. Okay. So now I got something like this. And then for this sign in, we want some gap between this sign in and this account, right? We want some gap between this sign in and account. So for the sign in, can I keep margin right? Can I use margin right for the sign in? I'll give some margin right to the sign in. Okay. So I'll go to this account and then margin not account. So I need to give some or else for this image itself, I can give some margin left, right? So if I go to image and I give some margin left, it will work. So what I will do is for this class, I will give some image, I'll give some class is equal to avatar. And for this avatar, I will use margin left as some around 10 pixels. If I refresh it, I'll get some margin. And then I want some font color as white. It is not, is white here, and some font weight. So I will give that values also. So color white and font weight bold. So looking something like this. You can also increase the font size if you want. So I'll keep font size as 20 pixel. Okay. So it's looking something like this. If you see, there is some margin here, right, to the red box and the entire browser. Can you see the margin here? Margin around these things for this. So to remove that, you need to apply margin to the body itself. So I can give at the starting, I can give body margin as 0. So I don't want any margin between body and my text. So now I won't get any margin. And I'll remove this border also. So it looks something like this. I'll share this code in the Slack, in the Discord channel. So please come in until this part, everyone. So everyone, please try to complete until this part. You can expand and check here the entire code. I'm giving you 5 minutes. So please complete until this part, everyone. I will show it here also if you want. This is style and this is auto open toolings. There is something like this. If you close this, there's something called split here. Can you see this split editor? You can click on this. Okay, so now let's try to make this one. No valid KYC required to pay your UPI payment and learn more. So I'll copy this entire thing. And I'll paste it in a P tag. So I'll go to my code. So this is the nav bar. So after this nav bar, I will write a P tag and paste it. I'll keep some class to it. Class is equal to KYC. Okay, and then I'll go to this class dot KYC. So I want this. So for this KYC, I need to give some height. So what is the width of this KYC? Width is 100%, right? Entire screen. And I'll give some random height and I want this to be centered. So what should I do? I want this centered vertically and horizontally. So what should I do? I want this to be centered vertically and horizontally. So align items and justify content, right? So I'll do the same thing. So I'll give some height of around 50 pixel and width is 100% and display is flex, align item center, justify content center. So all these 5 properties are applied. So now let's see the output. Can you see the output? Something like this. So there is some background color also for this. Okay. So you can get the background color same, inspect it, and then scroll on it. So can you see the background here? F6, F6, F6. Right? F6, F6, F6. So I can copy the background. So give background color F6, F6, F6. So getting something like this. So inside this, you want this no valid KYC required to be bold, right? Can you see this? No valid KYC required is bold here. So I can use bold tag for that. So I can keep that no valid KYC required inside a bold tag. You'll get bold. And then again, this learn more also is bold. So again, you can use bold tag for that. So keep learn more inside a bold tag. Can use some space. So space won't work. So I can also increase the font size of this. So I increase the font size of KYC. Font size as 20 pixel. So it will come something like this. Or 20 is more. Keep 18 pixel. This learn more is not so much of bold. So I will remove this bold for no or learn more because it's not looking good as same as our website. So now it is okay. Yeah. Clear? So if you see there is some space between this paragraph and then this smiley. So can you use margin right for this bold tag? Can you use margin right here? So I will for this bold tag, I will keep some class is equal to valid or something. Okay. And then for this valid, I will use margin right as 5 pixel. So let's see. Yeah, so I get something like this. Complete this part, everyone. So the additional part is this pan, this KYC. So this is the CSS and this is the HTML. This is the new part which we have put in now. Giving you 2 minutes, so please complete this. Can keep shadow also, but for now it is okay. So no need to use any other shadows. So I can also increase the navbar size if you want, if it is looking more. You can decrease it to some 85 pixel. If it is looking bit more. So I can change it as per requirement. So now let's move on to the third division here. In third division, what do we have? This is the entire box. Okay. And inside this box, we have two more boxes like this. This is first box. And this is second box. Okay. So inside this section, we have two more sections, left section and right section. So let's try to build these boxes now. So let's try to build this one parent box and two boxes inside that. So now I will go to this next part. One more div below that. Okay. So I will call it as class is equal to, give some class name. So I am giving it as section 2. Section 2 is section below your navbar. And inside this, how many boxes you have inside this section? Inside this section, how many boxes you have? 2 boxes, right? So one box and second box. So I'll give class name for each of this. Class is equal to left section, and then class is equal to right section. So I'll close this. So I don't want these two things now. So now go to section 2. So what is the height of section 2? What is the width initially? Width I want for entire screen, right? So width is 100%. And height I will take around some 650 pixel. So I'm taking it some random value. Take a 700 pixel. And then I'll give some border to check whether getting or not. Border 1 pixel solid red for section 2. Okay. So getting something like this. Cool. So inside this, you need 2 more boxes, right? Inside this, you need 2 more boxes. So we have built that. So for each and every box, what is the width of each and every box? Please answer everyone. What is the width of each box? Left section, right section. What is the width of left section? And I need half of them, right? So 50%. And what is the height? 100%. Now keep some border also to 1 pixel solid black. So I want same for right also, right? So right section also I want the same thing. So dot instead of left, I will write right. Now to make these 2 boxes side by side, what I need to do? Display flex for section 2. Can you see this 2 lines? So I will make it a bit different color for this. Teal. Now we can see 2 boxes side by side. So now if you go inside this left section, so inside this left section, can you tell that this is centered to this box? This is entire box, right? Can you tell that this is centered to the box? This entire box is centered, right? For the parent box, for the left section. Correct? Yeah. So inside now we will try to build this center box, means left box, centered box. So let's try to build that. So inside this left section, I have one more div. Okay. And this div I need to be centered. So inside this div, what all we have? Can you tell what all we have inside this div? Inside this box? What all we have inside this box? We have an image, one h1 tag, then one paragraph, and then one button. We have 4 things, right? So let's try to build all those things. So inside this, we have one image tag. Okay. So I copy the image src. And then we have one h1 tag, one paragraph tag, and one button. So what is the SRC for image? So I'll copy this image and I'll paste it here. And I'll copy this H1 and I'll paste it here. And I will copy this recharge and everything and paste it here. And for this button, download Paytm app. So I will write Paytm app. Okay. So I built all those things. So I'll see how I'm getting like this. So I'm getting something like this. So what I need to do? So this Paytm image is very much bigger. So I can reduce the size of this Paytm image. So I can reduce the size of the image. Can I give height and width for this image? So I'll give some class initially. Class is equal to logo. And for this class, I'll give height as 80 pixel and then width as 80 pixel. So now I'm getting something like this. Now I want this entire thing to be centered. This entire thing I want to be centered vertically and horizontally. How can I do that? I want this entire thing to be centered vertically and horizontally. So to which class I need to do that? To which class? Section 2 or left section? Left section, right? So go to left section and write display flex, justify content center, align item center. So now you can look at this output. So we're getting something like this. So now I want some larger font size for this heading, right? Some larger font size. So for this heading, I will keep some class for this. So heading class is equal to head. And for this head, I'll write some font size around 55 pixel. Okay, and then I also give some font weight bold. So let's see what we're getting. So we're getting something like this. But I want this Paytm app in another line, right? Not in the same line. So there is one tag for this called as line break. So there is one tag name line break. So I want to break at this line, right? So I will use BR here. BR means line break. So we are breaking the line there. So now if I refresh, can you see we're getting something like this? And now this recharge and pay bills, I will also do some things for that. So it has some extra font size. So what I will do is I will keep some class name for this. Some class is equal to para. And for this para, I will write some properties like font size, and I'll also give some width so that it won't go out of the box. So I'll give font size as 20 pixel. Also give font weight as semi bold or 500. So 500 in the sense less than the bold. Also give some width because it's occupying the entire screen, right? So I'll give with around some 450 pixel or something. So it's just a random value. I have checked it. So I'm getting something like this, but in the original websites, Yeah, it is looking closer to that, so no issues. I can also give some height between the lines. So can you see there is some height, right, between two lines, but in our app, the lines are very much closer to each other. So there is one property known as line height. Okay, if I give line height, the height between the lines will be increased. So I'll give line height around 30 pixels. So can you see the line height has been increased a little bit. Any doubts until this part? I'll send this code in the Discord channel. So try to complete until this part. I'm giving you 4 minutes until 1:05. I'm also pasting in Zoom chat box. Dhruv, it is in Discord channel. If you're not in Discord, you will get in Zoom chat. Not output. You can open it, expand it, and you can see. You can copy it entirely. Can you see my screen? Or you can download also. Download it and then show in Finder. Right click on it and open with VS Code. Right click on it and open with VS Code. It will open with VS Code. Okay, let's move to the next part. So next we will try to build this button. So we have a button like this. So inside this button, we have two images like this. Can you see the images? One Apple image and one Play Store image. So we can get the image by right clicking on this. So go to inspect. So you can get the image by, can you see this SVG? Can get one entire tag for this. Okay, you need to copy this tag. So I will copy this and paste it in the chat box also. So no worries. So you need to copy this element. And after this button, we need to paste that SVG path. Okay. So you need to paste inside a span. So what span will do is it will make whatever you write inside this span, it will come side by side to this text download Paytm app. So I'm writing a span and then I'm pasting it inside that. Okay. And then after this, I also have one more SVG. So I will again copy that SVG, this Play Store SVG. So I'll copy this, copy element, and I will paste it. So now if I see the output, so can you see the two images you're getting like this? So now for this button, I will make some styling. So for button, I'll give some class is equal to btn. For this btn, I'll do some styling. So dot btn. So what all things I need for this button? So I need some background color, right? So if I go here, so I have some background color as black and some border radius and all those things, right? I'm gonna back border radius, and for this SVGs, I have few more things also. From margin left and all those things. So I will try to apply all these properties. So for this BTN, so first the background color is black and color is white. Okay. And then I also give some padding to it. So for top and bottom, I'll give 15 pixel. And for left and right, I'll give 24 pixel. So top, right, bottom, and left is 24 pixel. And also give some border radius to it. So border radius around 40 pixel. So getting something like this. So download Paytm app, and I can also write some border. So I don't want any border, right? So I'll keep border as 0 pixel. Now inside this button also, I want it to be centered, right? Centered both horizontally and vertically. So can I use that again? Display flags, justify content center, all those things. So display flags, justify content center, align items center. So I'll get it to the center. Not this, sorry. Yeah. But these SVs are not visible. Why? Can you tell that? Why SVs are not visible for you? Because SVs are black in color. So can you see this something called as fill here? Fill is black. So if you keep fill as white, you'll get white color SVGs. So fill as white. You'll get some SVGs like this. So for SVG, I want some margin. So what I will do is directly for SVG. So directly for SVG, I will write some margin left. SVG also tag, right? So margin left as around 10 pixels. So I will get some margin now. You can also keep some margin top for the button. So there is some margin, right? So I'll keep some margin top of around 30 pixel something. Okay, so if I refresh, so I'm getting around 30 pixel. Now this right logo, it is very easy, right? So copy this image address and go to right section. Inside right section, create an image tag and src is equal to image logo. And you need to fix some height and width. So you can write class is equal to right logo and go to this class name again, dot right logo. What are the things you need for this? For this right logo, you need some height, width, and all those things, right? So I'll give all those things for right logo. So I'll give some height. So I can also inspect the image size. If I click on inspect, if I click on this, where is this? So can you see the height and width? Height is around, this is not coming. Yeah. So can you see the dimensions here? Height and width 528 cross 503. So I'll copy the same dimensions. So height as 528 pixel and width also 528 pixel. So let's see what is the output you're getting. So you're getting something like this. So now I want this to to go to the end, to go to the right part, right? So what can I use for that? So I want this to be coming to the end, somewhere here, like this. So for that, there is one more property in Flex. So go to right section and use display as Flex. And we use justify content, right? So justify content has one more property called as Flex end. So it will go to the end of your Flex. So for this, you can keep some padding also. So for the right section, you can keep some padding top of some 100 pixel. Use some padding from the top. Okay. So now remove these borders. Wherever you kept borders, remove this. Will look a bit okay now. Refresh. So you got something like this. Understood, everyone? So we are building box by box. So when you look at this layout entirely as a whole, it is looking very difficult layout, right? But whenever you're dividing into boxes and making it part by part, it is looking very simple. So I'll copy this code until whatever we have done until now. So please complete until this part. I'm giving you 5 more minutes for this. So please try to complete until these two parts. Both two parts, top and bottom part. Entire code, we can't keep entire code side by side because it has so much code here. So this SVs I'm covering because I already give it chat box. So I can see something like this. Submission time is 5 p.m. For SVG, I didn't give any height and width. SVG is kind of icons. Project will be same project. I will give some additional task along with this. Okay. So let's move to next session. Next section that is this recharge and bill payments. So let's try to divide this into boxes. Okay. So if you see, this is one entire box, right? This is one entire box. Inside this, we have one more box like this. Right. So this is one entire box, and inside this, we have one more box. So first, let's try to build these two boxes, and then we can see what we can do. So let's try to build this second section, third section. So after this, I'll give some div. Okay. So inside this div, I'll give some class is equal to recharge section. This third section, recharge section. And inside this, so for recharge section, what is the height and width we want? What is the width we want? Dot recharge section. Entire width, right? Entire screen. So width is 100%. And I need some background color. So background color I can get from the website itself. So click on inspect and click on this. So if you see 00BAF2. So I give the same color 00BAF2. So it is not 000BAF2. So I'm getting this background color. So if I see this, I will not get because I didn't give any height for this. So I will also build this inner section. What is the inner section we have now? So inside we have one more div. Class is equal to inner section. For inner section, what is the width I want? Do I need entire width or some part of the width? Please answer. For inner section, do I want the entire width or only some width? Around 70%, right? So I will code it as 70%. So width as 70%. They'll give some height to it. So I'll give some height to this also. I'll remove it later. So height as some 300 pixel. And I'll give some height as 200 pixel. And like some border also for this border 1 pixel solid. So now can you see you're getting something like this? But I want this box to be centered, right? To come to center. You see this? I want this box to come to center. So for this, instead of writing a display flex, there is one more method known as margin auto. So I can also use that margin auto. Margin auto will make margin automatically equal from all the sides. Okay. So if you see, we'll do margin auto from left and right side. You can also use this approach of writing margin auto. Now I will remove this height because I don't want to give height fixed. I want it to change according to the content. So now inside this box, what all we have? So we have built two boxes now. Inside this box, what all we have? We have one heading, right? And inside this heading, we have again one more box. Correct? Please reply. Yeah. So I'll give some heading for this. So inside this box, entire color is white only, right? No other color is there. Inside this box, the color is only white for everything. No other color is there. So for that box, can I write color as white? So that it will fill for the entire box. So for the entire recharge section, I'll also write color as white. And now inside the inner section, I will keep one H1 heading. And the heading is something recharge and pay bills on Paytm. I also give some class to it. So class is equal to heading. Now I will write dot heading. So for this heading, I need to give some font size and also some more properties like font weight and all. So I will write first font size around 36 pixels. Okay. And I also want some padding, right? Padding from the top. So padding top of around 70 pixels. So let's see what we are getting. So getting something like this. So padding top is a bit more. So I'll remove this border. So you'll get something like this. So below this, you have another box which has inside. So below this, we have a box, right? So inside this box, how many boxes you want? Inside this box, how many boxes you want? You want something like this. So can you use display flex here? And justify content, what can you use for this? Justify content. For the justify content, what can we use? Space between or space around? Space between, right? And each and every box contains one image and some p tags here, correct? So let's try to build this now. So let's go inside this div, and below this build one more div. I'll give some class. So I'll use some class name as recharge child. Okay, for this recharge section, I'm giving some childs. RC child. So for this RC child, so how many divs I want like this? Inside this, how many divs I want? For this RC child, how many divs I want? 7 divs, right? So shortcut for writing 7 divs is inside this div, I want 7 more divs. So I can write div into 7. So if you write into 7, you'll get 7 divs like this. And for this RC child, what all properties I need? First, I need display flex to make it all side by side. And justify content. What is justify content value? Space around or space between anything is fine. So I'll give space around here. And I'll also give some margin top for this. Margin top around 50 pixels. So inside each and every div, what all we want? We want an image. I told you, right? We want image for that. And then after that, what all we want? So we need to give 3 more things here: recharge, prepaid, and 3 more p tags. So I will keep entire things in a div tag. Okay. So I'll keep a div tag. Inside that, I'll keep p into 3. So for the first p tag, I need some pay recharge. Sorry, not pay, it is recharge. And then prepaid. And then mobile. Okay. So I have 3 more things inside that. So if I look at the output now, it is not coming. So let's try to copy this again. Line error. What is the error? Let's try to copy this in each and every div and see whether you're getting or not. We are not given any images, but we'll get the image also here. So no worries. Try to inspect these ones. Inside this you're getting, but on the browser you are not getting. Let's try to debug it. So I will remove this again, each and everything. Let's try to build these boxes first. So for each and every box inside this, I will give some class name. So for each and everything, so let's see whether we're getting output until this part. So we're getting until this part. There is some mistake here, or else it will not come as this kind of boxes. Let's see where was that error. Okay, so we're getting this now. So RC child. So inside each and every div, so we have one image tag with src is equal to, I will copy the image src also so that we can look at it. So I'll copy this image address. and I will paste it here. Let's see whether we're getting image or not. Yeah, we're getting the image. Okay, the issue is we have fixed the height somewhere here. So inner section height shouldn't be fixed. So I'm giving some image now. Yes, so image is coming. And then we have some div inside that. So inside this div, I told we have three p tags. So P, P, and then P. The first P is recharge. And second P is prepaid. And third P is mobile. So we are getting something like this now. So recharge, prepaid, and mobile. Cool. So for this image, we need some dimensions. So we'll check the dimensions, what we are getting. So what is the dimension of this image? Can you see this? What are the dimensions? 64 cross 64. Can you see that? Yeah. So for this image, I'll keep some class RC logo. Okay, some class name RC logo. And for this RC logo, I'll keep width as 64 pixel and height also 64 pixel. So now let's see whether we're getting it or not. Yeah, so we're getting something like this. So now let's try to copy this for each and every div. For the second div, we'll copy and see the output, whether you're getting it or not. Yes, we're getting for second div also. And for third div also, we'll copy that. And for fourth div, fifth div, sixth and seventh. So I'm just copying it because all the things are same here. So now you're getting something like this. Okay. Now we need to change the naming of this for each and everything. So for the first thing, recharge, prepaid, mobile, pay, rent, payment. So we'll try to change all these things. Pay, rent, and then payment. Okay. And for this image also is different. So I'll copy this image address and I will replace it with this. And again, this image address. The next is pay electricity bill. So, sorry, copy image address, then paste it. So pay electricity and then bill. Okay. And then next recharge DTH connection. So I'll replace the image. Recharge DTH connection. So let's see if we're getting it or not. We are getting it. I think I pasted in the wrong place for this. This is for third thing. I gave it for the long place. So this should be at the top. So Control C and Control V. Not here also, it should be here. Okay. So next, the other thing is, oh, is pay electricity bill. It is previously it is right, I guess. Pay electricity bill and recharge DTH connection. The icon should be different. Copy image address. This is for fourth one. Command V. So I'm just copying it and pasting it. So I think I'm pasting in the wrong place. So to copy it here. Okay, cool. So now for the next thing, I need to copy this cylinder, book gas cylinder. So book gas cylinder. So I'm getting that book gas cylinder. And then again, this pay credit card bill. So replace this image and pay credit card bill. Pay card bill. And then last image, all payment services. All payment services. So we got this layout now. Okay. Clear, everyone? We can also bring it a little downwards. So this is, we have some margin top for this, but it's okay for now. No issues. Instead of justify, we can also keep space between if you want. So anything is fine. Okay, so it will start from the start. So previously it is starting somewhere here. So now it will start from the start. For all this div, we can keep texture and center also. So it depends upon your application. You can change it whatever you want. And again, we have some margin bottom here from this layout, So I can also give that. So for this, I can go to this inner RC child. Okay, so for this RC child, I can use some padding bottom of 50 pixel. Okay, so that I will get some padding here. Can you see? I'm getting some padding. You can also change the line height of this. So how to change the line height I told. So for each and every div for this, give some class name. Class is equal to inner div. Okay. So for this inner div dot inner div, I'll give some line height of 20 pixel and also font weight. So I'll give some font weight 500. Line height is becoming more, so I'll give 10 pixel, becoming little bit closer. Also increase font weight as bold. Okay. And there is one more task left here. What is that? So can you see there is one arrow here? Can you see the arrow here? Until then, try to complete until this part. So I'll give this code in Discord channel. So try to complete until this part, everyone. I'm giving you some 5 minutes of time. Everyone try to be at until this part. So try to complete until this part, whatever we are done here. Last image not coming. So see carefully whether you're doing any mistakes here. There should be SRC for this. So make sure you're giving all those things. You can keep the sign also for this. For that sign, you can keep some greater than sign, but You can't really style it. So there is something greater than, but you can't really style it. So I'll tell you one website for that to do this. So first complete until this part, I will tell the next part then. Grisha, open with VS Code. Open the file with VS Code. Don't double click on that. Right click on it and open with VS Code. I already showed you that. Okay, cool. So now to get the symbol, we have one website for that. That is Font Awesome. So in this fontawesome.com, you will get some icons. So you can search for icons and you can search for arrow icon here. So you'll get some arrow icons. So you want icon with greater than symbol. So you will find somewhere here. Where is that? Or also greater than greater. Okay. So this is the symbol you want, right? So I will send you one link for this, getting these icons. You should have some script for this. So I will send you that. So you need some script for this. You need to copy this script in your head tag. Okay. So I am giving that in chat box. 1 second. Or in Discord channel also give. So you need to copy this script tag and paste it inside your head tag. Okay. Go to head tag and after title, you can paste this script tag. Okay. Now for this script tag, so you copied this font awesome script tag. Now you can use whatever fonts you want from this font awesome. So you want this, right? So click on this and then you'll get some code like this. So you can see the code, right? So you can copy this code and you need to paste it beside that wording. Okay. So you need to paste beside these services, beside this buildings and everything. So for that, you can use span tag to make it side by side and paste it inside the span tag. So now if you see that, see the output. So where is this? So I copied it here also, span. Open a span tag again and paste it here. So now if I see the output, so can you see you're getting some icon here, greater than. Okay. So in this fashion, you can get that icon. So you need to copy the same thing for each and every, for cylinder, for connection, and for bill, and for payment for each and everything. Can you do that, everyone, in your V session? Copying the same thing and pasting it. I sent you in Discord the link of that. And then can you build this layout now? Build this book and buy on Paytm. Can you build this? It is same as the upper layout, right? Just changing this heading and changing the image tags and then the text here. Can you do this, everyone, as a V session? Changing the background color and just changing this image tags and then this text here. Okay. So there are two tasks for you in V session. First one is to build this layout, book and buy on Paytm. And next one is you need to build these two things. This is the first one and this is the second one. Okay. So I'm typing it down in the Discord. So V session tasks. So first one is, okay, I will type it and I'll send it to you. So first one is, you need to build this book and buy on Paytm, this entire layout with blue color background. And the next one is you need to build this one Paytm payment instruments these two cards. This is the first card. This is the second card. Understood? So how to build this? So this is one box, right? This is entirely one box. This one box you should divide into two more boxes. This is the first box, second box. Inside first box, you have some image and some h1 tags and this one. And then the right box, you have some image again. So if you do this, then the bottom part is very easy. So it is same as the top part. Okay. So just copy pasting it and just changing the image tags, right? Just changing the image URLs. So this is the part of V session for today assignment. So you need to submit entire until this part. So pay anyone directly. If you're interested, you can also code this, just changing the image tags and then doing it. So whenever you're doing any website, so just divide it into boxes and then you can build it very easily. Just divide into boxes and see what you can do. Good evening, everyone. So we will discuss more things about this Paytm clone. So in this session, we have built this clone like a basic Navbar and then this section and recharge and pay bills on Paytm. So now we'll see some advanced things. So we will include JavaScript also. So if you see this website, so if you go to any other page, so you can see some things common in this. So this Navbar is common. This wallet and KYC, it is common. So right now, for your basic understanding, what we will do is we'll just copy paste the same code. So if you go into the code, so this is the entire Navbar code, entire div of Navbar. So you'll just copy this and then paste it in other page, right? So basic understanding. But this is like repeating a code by yourself. So this shouldn't be done in any case. So we will check how to import our navbar. So we will import our navbar. We will copy our navbar and keep it in some file and import it wherever you want. Okay, so it's like import and exporting things. So first we will import and export wherever we want. So we will import from this page, from the basic page, and then we will export to whatever page you want. So all the pages you can import. So if you see movie tickets and all the things, you have common navbar, right? So you can import and export. So before going into the concept, I want to tell you one more thing. So how to separate all these files. So in this, we are keeping CSS only in one file, right? So we'll check how to keep this CSS in separate file, not in this same HTML file. So just cut it and then open one more file and do for HTML, it is .html. For CSS, it is .css. So index.css. And then you can paste your entire style here. So now you need to convert this HTML file to CSS file, right? So what we will do is instead of the style, we need to link it. So if you type link in VS Code, you'll get something called link and CSS. So click on that. So it will ask for href. So href is giving the reference of your style sheet. So it is index.css. So index.css. So this link will refer to this link. So we are connecting both these files now. So if I see the output now, it will be same as before, no change. We're just separating our HTML and CSS files. So along with HTML and CSS, we can also code our JS files in the same HTML document. So for that, we need to, we can separate the JS files also. So for JS files, the extension is .js. So I'll write index.js. So this index can be anything. It can be your name also, just a file name. This file name can be anything. And now similarly, like we connected a CSS file with this index.css, we need to convert our JS file with the HTML file. So further, we need to use something called as script tag. Script in the sense JavaScript tag, and we need to give src. Src means source for the script file. So it is index.js notice. Okay. So if you go to index.js, basic in any language, first the basic way of learning is doing console.log. So like printing it. So first we'll print hello world. So we'll check whether we are getting in the console. So what do you mean by console? So if you go to browser and if you right click on it, so you can see something called inspect. So if you go to inspect and if you go to console, you'll get something called as console here. So if you see there is hello world here. So whatever you are doing in your JS file, that is hello world, it is coming in your console. Okay, so suppose if you want this console like 10 times or 5 times, so what should you do? So basic understanding is pasting it 5 times, right? So you will get it as 5 times. But I can also use functions here. So functions are nothing but whenever you want to repeat your code, whenever you want to copy some part of your code and paste it, so you can use functions in that case. So JavaScript functions plays a major role. So the syntax is write function and function name, print hello world. This can be anything. Okay. And then open a curly braces. And then you should return something in the function. So whenever you write a function, you should either return it or console it. So in this case, I'm returning it. So return hello world. Okay. So now if I want to, suppose if I want to invoke this function, if I want to call this function, so I will comment out these things. So now I will write print world. So it is something like declaring your function. Okay, you're declaring a function and you need to call this function. So to call the function, write the function name and open a braces here like this. So now if you see the output, so if I go, if I can't see any output because I'm not consoling anything. Let's suppose if I console it. So console.log and I will keep entire print hello world inside this console. So now you can see something in the output. So can you see it is printing as hello world. Okay. So in this way, you can keep this function. You can use this function this way. And also if you only print this, you will not get anything. So you need to return it. So now we got the basic understanding of function. Now we'll see how can we use this function in our code. So what I will do is, so whatever navbar code I have, okay, so this is the entire navbar div, right? So this entire div I will place inside a function and then I will return the function and I will use the function wherever I want. I will import that function and I will use. So what are the steps I will follow now? So I will write it down here. So I'll comment out it. So initially, or else I'll comment out here only. So initially I will create a Navbar function. Okay. And then after creating a function, I will return entire Navbar code. Okay. So after returning it, the next part is exporting it. Export this Navbar function. And then importing it wherever you want. So I will import it in my different page. Cool. So now what we'll do is, so we need to create this navbar function. So I will open another JS file here, navbar.js. So I'll write a function here, function navbar code, okay, or navbar component. So it is like a component based function now. So, and inside this, I will return all the things. So I should return entire div, right? So what I'll do is, I will copy this entire div. Where is this? This navbar div. This entire div I'll copy until this part, I guess. Yes. So I will copy it right now. I will not, or also cut it. So I'm cutting it here. And then navbar.js, I will return this. So you need to keep something called as backticks here in order to write HTML in JS. And I'm pasting it. Okay. So our first step is done. Next, what we need to do, we need to export this function. So I will export default. So by default, you're exporting it. Export default navbar component. Okay. So those two steps are done. First, we have created a function and then we pasted all the things inside the function. And we are exporting this navbar component. Okay. Now we need to import this navbar component. So what we need to do? So just go to index.html. Okay. And then, so you can write or else go to navbar.js or index.js, sorry. And then you need to import it here. So import, what is the name? So navbar component. Okay. So importing navbar component from, So you need to tell the path to it. So forward slash, and you are importing it from navbar.js file. Okay. So now if I do console log navbar, let's see what we're getting in the navbar. Sorry, navbar component. So let's see what we're getting. So it is telling cannot use import statement outside a module. So we missed something here. So inside index.html, so inside the script file, we need to give type as module here. The type is equal to module. Now I think it will get it. So if I refresh it, so it's getting exported or imported. Now go to index.js file once. So I'm exporting this navbar.js, navbar component. So if I write only instead of console, if I just invoke it, let's see what's happening. I just invoke it. So you're getting something like, yeah. So here we missed something. So it is not navbar, it is navbar.js. We need to give the extension also. So now if you see the console, you'll get the entire component. So can you see entire code you're getting? Okay. So now what you need to do? You need to copy, you need to append this code. Okay, append in the sense copy this code. Where you should copy? You should copy it in this place, right? So wherever you cut it, so in this place you have cut your navbar. So in this place you should get the navbar. So what I will do is I will create a div. Okay, and I will create one ID equal to top nav. So now I need to, so whatever I've imported here, whatever I've imported in this index.js, so this navbar component, I need to place it in this place. Okay, so I need to append in this place, whatever I have imported from that. So how to do that? So we can do in JavaScript itself. So what we need to do is first you need to paste it inside this div, right? So first you need to catch this div. Catch this div in the sense you need to catch bit by getting the ID of it. So there is one syntax for it. So it is document. So entire HTML is a document, right? So it will go into document dot get, you're getting element by its ID. Okay, and the ID is, so write the ID name here. There is something called as top now. So I will write top now. Okay, and inside this top now we need to keep inside the top now, right? So inside this top now we need to keep it. So what I need to do is, so inside this whatever you want, it's inner HTML, right? It is inner HTML. So we are placing inside an HTML component. So top now dot inner HTML. So I want it inner HTML as, so what is my inner HTML? It is navbar component and invoke it. So now let's see whether you're getting this navbar or not in the output. So can you see you're getting the entire navbar? Okay. So now if I remove this inner navbar component, if I remove this line itself, so you won't get navbar component because we are not keeping inner HTML. Okay. If I uncomment this, you get the entire navbar component. So now if you want to code the other page, like if you want to, I'm going to home page again. If you want to code these pay bill payments and recharges. So now no need to code the entire thing. What you want to do, just import and export. Sorry, just exporting it, importing it, and then invoking that function wherever you want. So let's try to do another page. So now I will keep another bill.html. Okay, so this is a bill page. So now inside this, what I'll do is I'll get another div same as like that. So ID is equal to top nav. Okay. So now I will open live server. So it is build.html and nothing was there because we are not importing anything. So now what we need to do, again create a script file. So src is equal to, so I'll create one file here like build.js. Okay. So now in build.html, src is equal to build.js and also give type is equal to module. Okay. And then in build.js, so what I'll do is I will import, what should I import? So I import navbar component, right? So navbar component from navbar. navbar.js, not navbar. And now what should you do? So inside build.html, so you need to catch this div dot inner HTML is called navbar component. Cool. So let's go to build.js. So document dot get element by ID. ID is stop now dot inner HTML is equal to navbar component. So now let's see build.js. So if you see, you're getting like this. Why? Because you're not connecting your CSS file to your HTML file. So for this build.html, this CSS file is not connected, right? So again, we need to connect the CSS file also. So for that, what will you do? So connect it by link href is equal to index.css. So now let's check. So can you see you're getting the required navbar in just few lines of code. So in this way, you can reuse your code and make it as components, and you can use how many times you want based on functional components. Thank you.